Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Craft Parenting Podcast, the podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. My name is Joe Ludwig. Thank you so much for being here. And with me tonight in our living room, watching the Bengals against the Dolphins, is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline. How's it going, Caroline?
I would say that this week, well, we do have a parenting problem because I'm exhausted because Lily did not sleep well last night. Therefore, I slept even less last night. We have more of a football problem because my butt is exhausted and Joe's like, I'm going to put Lily to bed, set up the podcast equipment. Oh, by the way, set it up in the living room if you can. So it's not haul up the light podcast equipment. It's bring up a table and chairs so we can sit in the living room. And I am tired.
You know, we could have just used the little table.
You don't fit at the little table.
I would have sat on the floor.
I would not sit on the floor, though.
So we are taking advantage of our Amazon Prime membership, which we almost never do as far as the streaming goes.
We've been watching Buffy a lot lately. There's some show on Amazon that I want to watch, but now I don't remember what it is. Oh, that Lord of the Rings show. I'm mildly interested in watching that Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah.
I know you are not interested in it.
But they have the original Lord of the Rings. I'm interested in that. But we are watching the Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. And they are not sponsoring us. And we just gave them a shout out. So Jeff Bezos, if you are listening to this,
Mike Brown.
on your penis-shaped rocket ship on the way to Mars, send us some of your cash.
It's vibrator shaped.
Okay. Is it not the same thing?
No. That's different.
Anyway, we have another.
You're the one that brought it up, for the record.
Jeff Bezos, if you are listening to this, send us some cash because we just shouted out your streaming service.
And Mike Brown, if you stop being cheap, you should send us some cash too because we shouted out the Bengals.
I don't want
Bam.
Mike Brown's money.
I can just use it for my taxes to pay for that stadium.
That's why I don't want his money. We have another great show planned out this week. We are going to talk about fall, y'all, and our favorite fall time activities.
Happy fall, y'all.
Yeah, we celebrated the first day of fall. Was that last week at the time of this recording? And now it is 45 degrees when we wake up, and it's awful.
It is perfect fall weather. I turned the heat on.
Yeah, why did you do that?
I'm ready for my pumpkin spice everything.
In September. Because
the house was getting too cold for the small children. If we did not have small children, all y'all would be under blankets right now. Because we wouldn't turn the heat on until it hit like 60 in the house. But because we have small children, I can't do that in good conscience.
All right, I guess they will get that from me. So yeah, we are going to talk about our favorite fall time activities. We've done previous episodes about our favorite springtime activities, our favorite rainy day activities, and our favorite summertime activities.
We have to complete the set. And keep going.
We do. So we are doing fall time now. Oh.
Are you going to be able to focus?
Yeah, pass interference, man.
I would like to go to bed. I will turn this TV around. It's on a swivel mount. I can do that.
All right, so let us dive in and get started. And we are at least partially a craft beer podcast, which means we have adult beverages in front of us as we watch the Bengals
play sports ball,
grab jerseys, and do bad things.
Sports ball. I don't know.
So, Caroline, what are you drinking?
I am currently drinking 2 Season, a Rheingeist Sunspun Shandy. It is 4.5% ABV. And I say 2 Season very sarcastically because this is like a height of summer drink. But Mom found it for me on super sale, and it's really yummy. So I'm going to drink it. It reminds me a lot of the Stiegel Radlers. You want to try? Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it, no.
You should try it. It reminds me of the Stiegel Radlers.
The grapefruit ones?
Yes. So their description is Beer with grapefruit and orange juice. No such thing as too much fun in the sun. A bright squeeze of orange and grapefruit juice into a light-bodied golden ale delivers sun-spun shandy, a brilliant boat of citrus sunshine. Now, I will disagree and say that there is a such thing as too much fun in the sun. Having friends that have gotten sun poisoning because they got too much sun. But wear sunscreen, y'all.
Is sun poisoning because you don't wear sunscreen?
Yeah, sun poisoning is like a really, really bad sunburn. Like your skin is burned so bad that when you have a sunburn, you feel really hot. When you have sun poisoning, you feel really cold because you've gone so much farther past that and you've started to actually damage the nerves. So they don't know what's going on. Is no bueno. Don't do it. It happened to a co-op this summer. I called him a dumb butt.
Well, there you go. You are brutally honest sometimes about that stuff.
Hey, skin cancer is no joke. Lather up, cover up, and stay in the shade.
For sure.
Also, I'm an engineer. Our tan line is we have no tan line because we get no sun.
Yeah. I am also drinking something, but it is in season.
Lame.
I am drinking the Prost Fest beer by 13 Below Brewing.
Oh.
Here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it is 4.2% ABV.
So I am drinking a higher alcohol beer than you. Oh, snap.
Are you?
4.5%.
Roll eyes.
Isn't it yummy, though? I mean, it'd be really, really good if it was like 30 degrees warmer outside, but I don't care. Okay, no, like 20 degrees warmer outside, 30 degrees warmer is still maybe too much. I don't know. What temperature is it outside right now?
It's probably in the 60s.
It's 70.
Oh,
no,
is
wait.
it?
No, that's what... It's going to be 70 tomorrow. Oh, my... What temperature it is right now isn't working. It's 55 right now. So 30 degrees warmer would be bearable because it'd be 85. So, okay, I could live with that.
Yeah, it's going to get... This is what happens in the fall in Cincinnati. There's like a 40-degree difference in the day. So.
Oh, yeah. I wake up and it's like 40 degrees outside. So I'm like, let's throw on a jacket and crank up that heat in the car on my drive into work. And then I get in the car after work and I'm like, roll down all the windows, get that nice cool breeze going. It is too hot for this. But we didn't actually have to switch between the heat and the AC in the same day this season.
Not yet. I mean,
we'll get there.
There's still October.
Yeah. I hate having to do that. But again, small children, they can't handle the extreme temperature swings like we can. Can't wait till they're bigger. And then they can complain about it. Like I used to complain about it.
Put on a sweater.
Take off a layer. You'll be fine. Add on 2 more layers. You'll be fine.
All right, moving right along. So now it is time for What's Bugging Caroline in Children's TV, where you, Caroline, tell us all about the lack of physics and logic in children's TV. So what is bugging you this week?
So mildly seasonally appropriate. It is Thanks a Bunch Day in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse land. Surprise, surprise. We're talking about Mickey Mouse Clubhouse again. And the professor has this awesome ray that makes things bigger. And he hit all of the fruits and vegetables in the garden with it accidentally. So now the fruits and vegetables are giant-sized. One would say a little hard to manage giant-sized. So Minnie wants to make a fruit salad and a vegetable salad. So first we have to sort the fruits from the veggies.
Of course.
Yeah. And we have an elephant help us move the apple and oranges because they are way too big to move. And also the fruit salad only consists of apples and oranges. You're missing a lot of food there. But then we get into the vegetables. There's carrots, there's onions, there's broccoli, and there's also peas, among some other things. Oh, cucumber. There's definitely a cucumber in there too. But it's the peas that we're going to talk about today.
How can you forget about the cucumber?
Because it was the first thing and then it disappeared.
Okay.
So the peas are in the pod. So first we have to unzip all of the pods to get out the peas. And then the peas are bigger than the size of bowling balls and apparently weigh way more than a bowling ball because Donald and Goofy are having issues carrying one pea all on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So Minnie's like, well, what can we use to carry these peas? Well, we have a picnic basket, so why don't we try carrying the peas in a picnic basket? And to see how many how many picnic baskets we need, let's roll the peas to the picnic baskets. And oh, hey, we can put 2 peas in 1 picnic basket, and we have 12 peas. So we need 5 more picnic baskets. Well, Pete comes around, and he's going to charge us to use his picnic baskets. But we then convince him that no, he should share, and we'll help share our food with him if he helps us get all the food to the table for Thanks a Bunch Day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. Sharing is caring. But we also have to get all of these peas into the baskets, and it's very hard to do that because these peas are so heavy. So we're going to use a Mouska tool to help us.
Of course.
And that Mouska tool is, that's right, you guessed it, a slide. So somehow Goofy gets all of the peas to the top of the slide, but can't actually lift the peas to put them in the basket that's on the ground. And they roll the peas down the slide into the basket 2 at a time.
Yeah.
So these peas that are too hard to lift to get like 6 inches off the ground to put into a basket.
How to get it on top of the slide?
Are light enough to get onto the top of the slide somehow. And then the people who are having issues carrying a pea have 0 issues carrying a basket with 2 peas. They're not even like grunting or struggling. They're just like, oh, thanks for rolling these peas down the slide, Goofy. Let me pick up this basket and skip over to the table. Like they flip-flopped back and forth with how much these things weighed in the span of like 2 minutes.
Interesting.
I'm very confused. I mean, at least they could have had the handy helpers help carry the peas into the basket. They could have used a wheelbarrow. They should have used a wheelbarrow. Something that has wheels and is good for lifting heavy things. So then the handy helpers could have put the peas into the wheelbarrow.
Or the train.
Or they could have used the train and then use the thing with wheels to get them to the table. And then you can still put forth a minimal amount of effort.
You know, we're doing all these segments, and I'm listening to these to you rant about the lack of logic sometimes. And I've concluded that we could probably do a better job writing this show.
Oh, we could definitely do a better job writing Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I am not a writer, and I could do a better job. It's just like you need one person on the writing staff that understands reality.
Like a script doctor, right?
Yeah, and be like, hey, like, well, because like even fantasy writers have this, where they'll have a friend or they'll have an editor that like has that Bible of this is how all of the magic works in this realm. So in book 2 of your series that you're on book 5 in, when you said that this is how it works and there are no exceptions, you don't say something completely different in book 5. Like their job is just to make sure that the logic that you are using in this world.
Continuity.
Yes. It continues through all the books. The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse needs something like that for a 20-minute episode. Not even like episode to episode. Like we haven't even really started to dig into that because that is a whole other thing. But even just in a 20-minute episode, making sure that the rules that you applied 30 seconds ago are still there. So there's a D&D YouTube group that I watch that they do like joke D&D sessions, and somebody commented on one of them like at the beginning of the round where the dungeon master says,
oh my
hey,
God, look at that baby.
That's like a Chucky doll. That's a Chucky doll. That is not an actual baby. You know that, right?
I do. I knew it was a baby. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. So D&D.
Yeah. So like at the beginning of the round, the dungeon master is like, okay, so everybody remember that we are in this very cold part. So everybody's going to have all of your rolls are going to be with disadvantage, which means you roll twice and your lowest roll is the one that you have to go with. And 10 seconds later, they roll for something and no one rolls for disadvantage. And somebody's like, oh yeah, this is like the most true thing ever when you're playing D&D, that you forget when you have to roll with advantage or with disadvantage or whatever, because there's so much stuff going on. So like sometimes it kind of makes sense, but not when you're dealing with little kids. Keep it continuous. Like keep it the same so they can actually understand how this works. Don't just change the rules all willy-nilly.
Something as simple as how much to do the peas weigh, you know?
Yeah, and how hard it is to lift. It's not that hard. You would think.
You would think. All right, let's move on. Hey everyone, Joe Ludwig here with the one and only Caroline.
Hey!
Before we get to the main topic of today's episode, we wanted to pause briefly and tell you about how you can support the show.
So if you enjoy listening to the podcast and reading our blog posts every week, then you now have the opportunity to support the show through Buy Me a Coffee. Here's what you need to know. It's super easy to do. You don't have to set up an account to contribute. You have options. Send us a one-time donation or sign up as a member to contribute on a monthly or yearly basis. Plus, you can unlock exclusive content.
To learn more about how you can support the Craft Parenting Podcast through Buy Me a Coffee, click the link in the show notes. And now, back to the show. All right, so now on to the main topic of today's episode, where we are talking about fall.
Happy fall, y'all.
And our favorite fall time activities.
So I just want to say, for the record, I have done a great job of decorating the house for fall so far.
Mm-hmm.
Because I put out our little scarecrow that flips over and turns into a snowman.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the Christmas wreath off of our front door and replaced it with a wooden sign that I painted that says Witch's Brew.
And you got the kids to hang up the Frankenstein and the ghost. And there's supposed to be a vampire, I think.
Yes, I don't know where the vampire is. It was hilarious when we pulled them out of the box, though, because I handed them to Lily, and I was like, here, go hang these up somewhere. And she, put the ghost on her head and started running around and said, boo, or ooh. She's so cute. And she likes spooky things now.
Yes.
They still scare her, but there's an episode of Barney called, What's That Shadow or something like that, where the power goes out. They talk all about things that they're afraid of and how they shouldn't be afraid of them anymore because they're fake. And so I'll routinely ask Lily, okay, what episode of Barney do you want to watch? Do you want to watch Farm Barney, Birthday Barney, or Things That Go Boo? Because I call it Things That Go Boo. And she'll always say Things That Go Boo. And then she'll complain. It's oh, this is spooky. I'm like, oh my goodness, you're so cute, girlfriend.
Yeah. So, and my mom is pushing the Halloween very, very hard. She pushes all of the holidays very hard.
Well, we have to teach Lily and Elliot to say trick or treat and boo.
Yes.
Which Lily is very adept at. Elliot is really good at saying grr.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of mumbling things or grunting things.
Yes.
But his inflection changes on the grunts, so he's trying to say words.
He can say sheep and ba,
ba
and moo and neigh
and choo-choo
and woof.
Yep. He's getting there.
But you took him to the doctor a few weeks ago, and the doctor asked him about his body parts, like, where's your nose?
And I was like,
We haven't been working on that with them.
No. Lily has, though. Your sister got them cups with jack-o'-lanterns on them. And Lily's like, it's his eyes and his nose and his mouth. And she points to everything as she says it. And I'm like, pay attention, Elliot. This is how you're going to learn. You'll be fine.
Yeah, if you quiz him on farm animals or just animals in general, or trains or planes.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't say plane, but we're right under a flight path to CVG.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's at Amazon. Shout out to Amazon.
No, it's passenger planes and
Amazon, I guess. FedEx.
And freight planes.
When
So
I say
both.
Amazon, I mean FedEx, because
or DHL or UPS or any of the freight companies that fly in and out of CVG who we see their planes pass over our house.
and they're carrying Amazon stuff. Let's be real.
Okay.
But he always points at them and he gets excited about the planes. So yeah, we are going to talk about fall and our favorite fall time activities. So what is activity number 1?
So this is not on the list, but our first unofficial start of fall activity is going to P&G Day at Kings Island, or P&G weekend.
Yeah, this is always around my birthday.
Yeah.
Mid-September.
And it's right before the official first day of fall. Because it's so close to Halloween, 3/4 of the decorations are up for their Halloween haunt season. So you're going there, and even if it's a super hot day, everything screams fall. And it was adorable going in with Lily for the second year in a row because they have these cute ghosts that hang from the trees. And she's like, ooh, ghost, spooky. I'm like, ooh, Lily, they're going to get you. And she's like, ah.
And Lily loves Kings Island. We don't go during the actual season.
Nope, we go our one day a year.
Yeah, we go on P&G Day, which is the best time to go, in my opinion.
Yep.
Because all of the lines for the big rides are, they're non-existent.
But the lines in Kittyland are really long in the morning.
Yes. Yeah, Kittyland is brutal, and we've found that out the last couple of years. But my sister comes with us, and we go, peace out, Jenna.
Have fun with Lily for like 2 hours. We'll be back.
While we go on our thrill seeking. We go seeking thrills on different roller coasters.
And eventually, Lily already rides more rides than Jenna. So last year, Lily was 36 inches tall. So she could ride, it's the Great Pumpkin Coaster, where it's the little like 2-hill, go around in an oval twice coaster. And she was okay with it last year. And so she like wasn't super stoked about it, but she wasn't super like annoyed with it either. And when it was done, she said that she had fun. But we only rode it once because the line was long. And then she rode the carousel. She rode the doodle bugs, beetle bugs, which whip you around an oval. She had a lot of fun doing that. But she had an experience doing that last year. She wasn't a huge fan because
she rode by herself.
She rode by herself. And it was like every time she got her bearings, it would whip her around again. So she'd lose her bearings. And she was just like, I don't know what's going on.
And she was really tiny, so she was moving quite a bit. And she was buckled in, of course, and she had the lap bar and stuff, but she was still moving.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He's going on a stretcher.
Uh-oh. So, and then we left her with Jenna, and they rode the big carousel like 10 times. I'm not even sure if she rode the big carousel this year. I don't think that she did. So, we get there, and the first thing we do is split up. So, Joe can take stuff back to the car, and he was super nice and got me coffee. And I get in line for it's the Great Pumpkin Coaster with Lily to see. This is our first into Coasterland. Like, I know you're going to be old enough to kind of remember this coaster. So we hang out in line for forever. And a bunch of people got out of line right before us because I thought you were going to have plenty of time because there were plenty of people ahead of us. And all of a sudden, like 4 kids in front of us got out of line. And then we were on the next ride.
They were too small?
No, they were bigger than Lily. So I don't know what happened. So we get in the coaster, buckle ourselves in. And I'm like, okay, Lily, hands up. And she puts her hands up. And she smiles and giggles the whole time. And I'm like, sweet. Okay, this is good. She gets on the little carousel as like a little breather. And you come back with coffee. And I'm like, okay, crazy town. We are going to take her on the Beastie, a.k.a. Woodstock Express.
Yeah.
Which is like a legit wooden coaster, but is small. Jenna will not get on this coaster unless if you get on this coaster and you, spoilers, do not fit on this coaster.
I don't want to fit on the coaster.
You really don't. So after the carousel, we walk over to the Woodstock Express, sneak behind a snack booth so we can actually see the coaster because the coaster is pretty well hidden behind trees and other buildings. And we watch the coaster. And I say, Lily, what do you think of this? And she says, I want to ride it. Or something to that effect. Basically, she says, yes, I do want to ride this coaster.
Okay.
So we get in line, the 4 of us, even though only 2 of us are going to ride, me and Lily. And at this point, they don't have an attendant handing out wristbands. But like I shoved Lily up against the sign to see how tall she was. She barely covered, but she barely touched, but she did partially cover the you are 40 inches height requirement to ride the Woodstock Express. Because yes, she grew 4 inches in a year. Woohoo!
She is going to be really tall.
Yeah. So we get on the ride. Joe and Jenna walk to the exit. I'm half to 3/4 of the way through buckling Lily and myself in before they even say, hey, we want to get a height check on her. And I'm like, sweet, okay. As I can see Joe saying, okay, this is going to be our make or break. She's not going to make it. And she barely passed, but she passed. So she got her 40-inch wristband and was never questioned again the rest of the day on how tall she was. So we get on the coaster. She holds on. We go up the hill. And we're sitting in the very, very back of the coaster. Just kind of worked out that way. But that means that she can see more of what's going on before it happens. And she holds on the whole time, but she is laughing and giggling the whole time we ride the coaster. And as soon as it's done, she says, I want to ride again.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, well, Lily, we got to wait. We got to take a potty break. Maybe ride some other rides because the line's really long at this point. Well, at least it's relatively long. So we'd have to wait a few cars before we'd get to go. So let's ride some other things, and then we'll come back to it. So we ride some other stuff in Kittyland. Lily has a grand old time. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's almost lunchtime. So Joe and Jenna, why don't you guys go and get lunch, figure out where we're going to go for lunch. And Lily and myself will ride Woodstock Express one more time, and then we'll join you. Well, we get to Woodstock Express, and there is no line because it's like 12:30. Everybody's either eating or they went home because it's Kittyland. Nobody's there like afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. What we rode in between this was the Escape for Your Life, Charlie, or the Run for Your Life, Charlie Brown. Because we rode the little mini log flume. That was great.
Guess you sat in the very front.
So you can fit 4 or 5 people in your log. And we put 3 adults and 1 child in our log. And we ordered it from front to back. Lily, Joe, Jenna, Caroline.
That worked out.
I am just very persuasive. And your sister is very oblivious sometimes. So, and we had been watching all of these other people go down because the line was pretty slow. And Lily was super excited the whole time. Like she wanted to go on this ride. No fear.
Adorable.
She was watching everybody go down. And we could see like if there was more weight in the front, they got a bigger splash. But really nobody was getting super wet or soaked. That was all going to change. So we get in the ride. We go ride through all the back parts of the ride. And then we get to the big hill, the main event of this attraction, and we go up, 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 and we're so excited, and we go down, 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 and I can see all of the people that are watching the log flume go, ooh, as we hit the water, and I just see this big wall of water crash down on top of Joe and Lily.
She couldn't stop laughing.
No, she was having the best time ever. And so we get off the ride. My pants are a little bit wet. Jenna's pants and shirt are a little wet. Joe's shirt is soaked.
And pants.
And pants.
And socks.
And shoes.
Yeah, the socks were the intolerable part of that.
Yeah. I was in hiking boots, so they were waterproof. I planned ahead.
You're sitting down now, and your socks are parallel with the water.
Yeah, my feet were fine, though. And then we get Lily out of the ride, and she is soaked from head to foot. Her hair is soaked, her shirt is soaked, her shorts are soaked. But I had an extra outfit for her, so it was fine. So I grabbed the extra outfit. We go into the bathroom, and everything was wet but her underwear. And I was like, yay! Potty training! And Lily was just so happy to be there. But then she was also starting to shiver. And then I felt bad because I didn't have an extra pair of shoes for her, and her shoes were also soaked. When I finally took her shoes off in the car, her little feet were wrinkled. And I was like, "Aw, hope you're okay, girl." She was fine. So, did that, rode some more rides to try to dry off a bit. Got in line for Woodstock Express. There was no line while you guys were getting lunch. Back to where I tangented. And then we get done with Woodstock Express, and Lily's like, "I want to ride it again." And there's nobody in line. Like maybe 4 out of the 7 or 8 car. I guess it was like 8 cars. I think it's like 4 out of the 8 rows of Woodstock Express are going to actually have people in them because there aren't people waiting at the gate to ride the ride. So I look at the attendant and I'm like, "Hey, can we just stay in our seat and ride again?" She says, "No, you have to get off and go back around line." Okay. But Lily is all for it. It's like I have to convince her that we have to get out and go around in line again. So we get out, we go around, we get in line, but this time we sit in the middle instead of the back. And she again has a blast and like is holding her hands up more of the time and still giggling and laughing the whole time we're riding. And again, wants to ride it again. And I'm like, no, Lily, it's definitely way past lunchtime. We need to get some food in your belly. So let's go find where Daddy and Aunt Jenna went and go get some lunch, which she then eats like 4 bites of before saying she wants to go ride more rides. I'm like, well, you and Aunt Jenna are going to go around the park. So you have to be the one that asks Aunt Jenna to ride that, knowing full well that Aunt Jenna will not ride it with her.
No, she
So
did not.
her and Aunt Jenna rode a bunch of rides around Kittyland while we rode Mystic Timbers, Diamondback, Orion, Flight of Fear, and Banshee. Yeah, we almost forgot about Banshee. So we walk around the park. Almost everything's a walk on except for Flight of Fear. We had to wait like 15 minutes for Flight of Fear. Everything else was like 3 cars and you're the one on, and then you're the one riding. And then we met up with Lily and Jenna at the Antique Cars. And we were going to all ride in one car until we get almost to the front of the line. And Joe's like, you know what? No, I'm going to ride with Lily and you and Jenna are going to ride together. Because you said that you didn't want to drive and then you changed your mind.
I didn't want to be cramped because I remember last year riding with all 4 of us. And
Well, that's because I made you and Jenna sit next to each other with love.
Well, I mean, the pedal is not a normal pedal where it's angled.
Correct.
It's straight up and down, so it's kind of awkward. My feet are really big.
And it's not power steering.
It's not power steering, but it's more of I don't have room to do anything.
Mm-hmm. So how was your drive with Lily?
She was very chill. She
was like exhausted at this point.
She was like, yeah. And then after the antique cars, we snuck in one more ride at the Viking ship.
Jenna was not happy about that. She got on the ride and then complained about being on the ride the whole time.
So you and Jenna went on one side of the ship, and then Lily and I went on the other side of the ship.
So we could go woo at each other.
Yeah, and I taught Lily the game where, one side screams when they go up, and then when the other side goes up, they scream. And it's a big shouting contest. And Lily was confused at first, and then she was all for it.
Oh, yeah. So then we headed to the car because we had a very exhausted Lily, whether or not she wanted to admit it, and apparently a very exhausted Jenna. We were placing bets on when Lily was going to fall asleep. And I said when we hit the highway. I think you said when we hit the before we even left the parking lot. And we loaded up the car. We started to drive. We were on our way out of the parking lot, and we hear snoring. And we turn around. Lily is still wide awake. Well, she's still awake, but not fully present, eating her goldfish. And Jenna is completely conked out.
Yeah.
Yep. And then by the time we hadn't even hit the next exit on the highway. But after we hit the highway, Lily fell asleep too. And then we got ice cream. Jenna almost slept through us getting ice cream.
Yes.
She wouldn't have missed out. We would have bought a pint of ice cream.
Sure.
I was going to get a pint of ice cream if both of them were asleep, and then they could both have a scoop of ice cream from the pint when we got home. Instead, we just shared our ice cream with Lily and Elliot when we got home.
Yes, we did share. And Eli is too small to ride Kings Island rides.
And he does not like being left out. So if we would have brought him and Lily went on something and he didn't go on it, it would have been a very bad time.
Yes, exactly. And he's definitely not 36 inches.
He's getting pretty close.
Oh, is he?
Maybe
His second birthday is in
February.
Lily's second birthday was in September.
Yeah.
So she got the better end of that deal.
Yes. Though I rode It's a Great Pumpkin coaster when I was 18 months old.
That's what your mom says.
But they must not have had a height requirement.
That's what your mom says.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me though. But, and then other highlight of our Kings Island trip. When Lily and myself are walking to lunch, we pass by Diamondback. And Lily points to Diamondback and says, I want to ride that one.
Oh boy.
So we might have a little coaster head on our hands. Elliot's either going to be holding the bags or sitting right next to us. We'll see. I think he'll be sitting right next to us.
I mean, considering that he's the one that climbs up on stuff and jumps off it.
Yeah.
I think he will push Lily out of the way to get first in line.
Yeah. We mildly snuck Lily in this year. Might be a little harder to sneak her in next year, but we're going to try to get her in and Elliot and see what happens. I can't wait. Okay, so that's our first fall activity / a breakdown of us going to Kings Island.
We talked a lot about Kings Island.
That's a lot of fun. I mean, we could do a whole episode about Kings Island.
I suppose we could.
I got photos somewhere. I think they're in Elliot's room. so I won't find them now.
But what is the second, I guess on the list, it's the first thing.
So our always seasonal activity is let's get outside, because let's get outside is always a favorite of the kids. And sometimes the children do not know how to use their indoor voices, so they just need to go outside. Because then you can make however much noise you want because you are outside and not right next to my face.
They're becoming more independent as well. So we have a swing set outside.
Mm-hmm.
And it has steps to go up the ladder, but, there's a handle and stuff. I did not have a handle to get up that ladder to get up. So it was just you. You figured that shit out.
Yep. We were tougher back then.
Yes. But they can climb all that by themselves. They can go down the slide themselves.
Lily can push herself on the swing herself.
Yeah, she learned how to pump her feet.
I don't know if she pumps her feet yet, but she at least can push herself off and go a few swings, and then push herself off and go a few swings. And then we have the big saucer swing now, and Elliot sitting in that. Mom said that today he put his horsies and his cows on the swing and then pushed them on the swing. So they would also get to have a fun swing experience.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Yeah. In some ways.
In some ways, yeah.
In other ways, he's a little bit frustrating. But
Please let me change your diaper because you need a new diaper. No, you cannot run away while I'm trying to change your diaper.
We'll do an entire episode about Elliot and and the grievances that we have.
The difference between our two children.
Yeah. Well, for now.
For now. We'll see what happens. So let's go outside is always a favorite. And in the same realm of let's go outside, we are back to chalk and playing with bubbles and stuff out in the front yard because it's not super hot and sunny in our front yard anymore. The backyard gets a bit more shade and it's it's easier to keep the kids contained in there because it's all fenced in. But the front yard is great because we got all this room to play with chalk and the kids love doing that. But in the summer, it's just so much sun hanging out in the front yard. So now there's a hopscotch board underneath the van because the van is parked in the driveway.
Oh, did it go in? I think you can hit it.
No.
No, not in the
Well, if you hit it and it goes in,
well,
yes.
that's what I mean. I know it hit it. Oh, come on. Don't care about that. Miami just scored a touchdown, but it looks like they missed the extra point.
Yes. So, also a let's go outside activity, because a lot of these are let's go outside activities, it's pumpkin patch season. So we took the kids to a pumpkin patch this weekend. And I did not fracture my ankle this time. Yay!
That was the highlight of the trip, to be honest.
We did have a few conversations about whether or not we were allowed to go back to a pumpkin patch. And by we, I mean me. But the kids had a blast.
Whether or not we were going to buy you a bubble, like a hamster ball.
Yeah. I've got the boot in the basement. I'll be fine. So we went to pumpkin patch. We took the hay wagon ride to the pumpkin patch, got some pumpkins. This year they had a decommissioned combine. They put
stairs and a deck
around so the kids could get to.
And I think, was it 4 slides?
Yeah, 4 slides off of the deck.
4 sets of slides.
Yeah, but they also had, with the way the deck was positioned, you could get to the driver's seat so you could, quote, drive the combine and move all the gears, because they still had all the levers and stuff on the combine. So Lily and Elliot, when they got a chance, enjoyed pulling on the levers. They had one tunnel slide, which Elliot loved, to the point that he ran back to that 4 times after we had left that area. And I had to run after him. And there were 3 kids playing in the slide.
Older kids, right?
Yes, older children. So, because one of them was trying to climb up the slide, and Elliot just... I don't know if it's just he's oblivious or he doesn't care. He is going to do what he is going to do, because good luck telling that boy that he is not allowed to do something that he wants to do. He tried to go, he just walked, or he weaseled his way around the kids and attempted to go down the slide while another kid was climbing up the slide and was so persistent that the other kids were like, yeah, just let him go. And they got out of the slide so he could go down the slide.
Well, today we were cleaning up from dinner, and Zoe was blocking the little hallway, between the breakfast bar and the kitchen table in our house. So she was, she's doing what she does. Zoe's our oldest dog, and she sniffs the carpet for crumbs because she is very food motivated. So she is, sniffing the carpet or what have you, and blocking the way. And Elliot, I turn on the trains because Elliot really likes train videos, and it's a great way to distract him while we're trying to clean up from dinner. So I turned on the trains, and Elliot is trying to get to the living room where we are now to watch the trains, and Zoe's blocking his way. So he's pushing on her, and he goes, "Clara, Clara,"
because all of the dogs are Clara.
Yeah, so he is. He knows what to do.
Yes.
If you're in his way, watch out. He will push you away, especially if there are choo-choos on the TV.
Oh, for sure. So at the pumpkin patch, Lily and Elliot got to explore the pumpkin patch this year. Lily picked out half or 3/4 of our pumpkins and had a nice time not listening to us as she continued to walk away in the pumpkin patch and then came back.
Eli almost drove the tractor because
I missed that, but I heard about it.
Well, there are steps, to get up to where you drive the tractor, which was pulling the hay
wagons.
The hay wagons, yeah. And I guess he left it on, and he was, just chilling.
Yeah, because we had a younger farmer this year. Usually we had the same guy the last 2 years. This was a new guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Elliot was just reliving his memory of sitting on the tractor with his Opa.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So he, if you listen to previous episodes, you would know that my family used to own a farm out in Winchester, Ohio, and they recently sold the property, but before they did that, we were able to bring the kids out, both Lily and Elliot out.
Mm-hmm.
So that they could see actual cows and
sit on tractors and skid steers and ATVs and whatever equipment we could get them on.
Yeah, and we have pictures of that. And Elliot must have been.
He was at most like 8 months old.
8 months, 9 months old, yeah.
Because that was almost exactly a year ago.
Mm-hmm. But he almost, at the pumpkin patch, he almost relived that memory.
Yeah. So the kids went through the little kiddie maze that they have. They played in the gravel pit. We got to hear a rooster go cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah, they had animals too. So they had goats, chickens, and Elliot was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like these things actually exist in real life. What?
Yeah.
And then both kids got to ride the barrel train this year, which is a 55-gallon drums with wheels pulled by a small tractor. And they had a blast doing that.
Eli was just, processing, sucking his thumb, but Lily had a good time.
Yeah. And we double booked ourselves that day because our other favorite fall activity is it's Oktoberfest season. So our local church Oktoberfest is a place that the Donauschwaben dancers dance during Oktoberfest season among like 10 other places. And unfortunately, we had made plans to go to the pumpkin patch on Sunday, and we were going to go to Oktoberfest on Saturday because we used to dance at that Oktoberfest on Saturday. But apparently, at some point in the last few years, they switched it, and now the dancers dance on Sunday, which we found out Saturday morning. So it was too late to reschedule with the grandparents to go to the pumpkin patch on Saturday instead of Sunday. It had
really
rained
rainy.
That morning.
It was really rainy on Saturday.
So we just said, okay, we're going to have a day at home, and then we'll just overbook ourselves on Sunday. So Sunday, the kids napped in the car while you drove them around. I got together whatever costumes I could find, so like our German gear, and got the kids dressed basically in the driveway, and then went to Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it's like up the street, so it's not very far.
No, it's not super far. Lily really enjoyed seeing people dance in person. She got to see her friend Maggie dance and got to dance with her. So that was like not with everybody else, but like while the band was playing, they danced together. They played some games together because they have all the fair games there. And Lily and Elliot just had a blast. Elliot, not so much because he wanted to do all of the dancing. He didn't want to watch people dance, but he also doesn't know how to stay close. So we have to get all of our gear together because as of this recording, this weekend is our big Oktoberfest where we're going to have like 2 days of craziness. I don't think we're going out Friday night.
No, we're not.
Okay, good. So we'll go out on Saturday and Sunday, probably with both kids this year. because we only went out with both kids one day last year and dance and eat food and drink beer and have lots of fun. I'm already exhausted thinking about it. Or that's just because I'm exhausted because Lily didn't sleep last night and neither did I.
Lily woke us up at 2:30. So you went back to sleep.
Not really.
I woke up at 4. I gave up after 4 o'clock.
I offered to put Lily back in her bed and you just kind of wandered away and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to go back to sleep then. For the record, that is the thing that I tried to do.
I think I was sleepwalking at that point.
You might have been. So another thing that we like to do is go to the zoo because it's now not super crazy hot outside. So hopefully we can get in a zoo day 1 or 2 times before Festival of Lights. We went a few weeks ago with Lily's friend Maggie and they had a blast because why go to the zoo with 2 kids when you can go to the zoo with 3 kids? It worked out. We all had fun. It was only slightly insane of us.
Maggie was very well behaved.
She was.
She barely said anything, at least to us.
Well, because she doesn't know us that great. Like, she knows us.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know us super well. So we have to have another sleepover, and then she'll probably be better.
She didn't really talk to Lily. I mean...
They did. They had their conversations. You just weren't part of them.
Yeah, okay. There you go, then.
And then every time we did anything after that, it was, this is where my Maggie goes. Or, where's my Maggie? It was so cute.
And we had 3 car seats in the van.
Yep. And we had a glimpse of what life would have been like if Elliot was a girl. With matching hairstyles, coordinating outfits. That was accidentally on purpose.
Leaving 30 minutes later than anticipated.
Yeah.
Because
you've got another kid to throw into the mix.
Because of doing hair.
Hey, they looked really cute.
Yes.
That was the important thing. So the zoo is always a great thing to do. The museum center is a new one. So when Lily got on pause from preschool, I took 2 days off work so we could go do things. So one day I think we mostly just chilled around the house. And then the other day we went to the museum center downtown. We kind of zoomed through the museum center, like the Cincinnati Museum Center and the Natural History Museum. And then we went to the Children's Museum and we hung out there for like 2 hours. And the kids had a blast. Elliot was running all over the place. Lily was running all over the place.
No accidents at the museum center.
Nope, no accidents.
At the museum center.
At the museum center. I think she had one when we got home and she fell asleep because she still sometimes has accidents during naps. But she's been doing a lot better lately. So we're going to have to go to the museum center again because that was a lot of fun. And it wasn't super crowded because I thought, I mean, it was a Monday, so I was hoping it wouldn't be too bad. But we have friends that were just there this weekend and they said it wasn't that busy for a Saturday. Like they thought there would be more people there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're more busy in the winter. I don't know. But it could be that everybody's out at the park because we can start going back to the park because the slides won't be 1,000 degrees.
Yeah, they might be a little dewy though.
Dewy was the grass at the early month of May. So Elliot's a lot bigger now too. So I got to see what happens the next time I take him to West Fork Park. Definitely going to be a 2-person adventure, like 2 adult, 2 kid adventure.
Yeah, make sure you get that ratio up. Man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, because I don't know what Elliot's going to try to do, but he'll try to do it. Another thing is it's craft time. So I finally will Seasonal craft, yeah. I will eventually be writing a blog post about this, though I've got like 3 blog posts in draft right now that I have not worked on. I was going to work on them tonight, but then we're doing this. But I finally finished the craft that I started like week 3 of our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And also had our friend Hillary over with her daughter.
Do you want to explain what the craft is?
Yes, I was going to do that.
Oh, cool.
So when Lily was about 8 weeks old, I did white footprints on black paper of her. And I turned them into ghosts and candy corn because she was like daddy's little sweetie and mama's little boo, and her footprints said boo because the ghosts were the O, her feet ghosts were the O's, and there's big B right next to it. And so actually, no, this was on Saturday when we were going to do nothing on Saturday. And instead Hillary was like, hey, Steven's out of the house playing board games. What are you guys doing today? And I'm like, well, I wasn't going to do anything, but now I'm actually thinking I need to do some fall crafts with the kids because I haven't like done handprints or footprint anything with them since Elliot was like 6-ish weeks old and Lily was like 20-ish months old.
Yeah.
So Hillary came over. I had all the supplies that I need. Well, I had 95% of the supplies that I needed in the basement. The only thing I was missing was the foam board. So I ended up getting foam board a few days later. But we did white footprints for Miss Veda, and Hillary turned half of those into candy corn. So she could then cut them out and finish them at her house. And with Lily, because I had already done ghost and candy corn footprints with her, we did hand spiders.
Yeah.
And toe stones. We're making tombstones with her feet. So I did all of her handprints and footprints. And while we were doing literally all of this, like collection of supplies, Hillary coming over, Lily and Veda getting covered in paint and cleaned up.
Yeah.
Veda going home so she could nap. Elliot was sleeping. He missed the whole shebang. I think I even had like 75 to 95% of it cleaned up by the time he woke up and came downstairs.
Yeah, you did. He definitely missed out.
Yeah. So then 2 nights ago on bath night, I was like, okay, we finally have to get Elliot's footprints. And since Elliot hasn't been mommy's little boo or daddy's little sweetie, I can just do white footprints of him. And he can do that while Lily has her toe stones and her handprints. Because handprints work better with older kids or like really, really young kids.
Mm-hmm.
Anything in the middle, not unless you have like 3-on-1. Is it going to like turn out okay, like 3 adults to 1 child? Because you like have to have somebody hold while somebody paints, while somebody has the paper all prepped, and hope you get some good ones in there. So we did some quick footprints of Elliot. And so now I have to touch up his footprints and turn some of them into candy corn so I can make signs or like mini posters for all of the grandparents. And I have to figure out how I'm going to put them all together. So, because I think I can put like I might be able to get them all on one. Like I think I can get like the handprint, Lily's footprints, and Elliot's footprints all on one scene. And it's like a graveyard with a spider in the corner and some ghosts floating in the air. I have to see what I'm going to do. Haven't decided yet. Going to make a whole scene. So yeah, fall crafts.
Fall crafts.
Eventually there will be a blog post. They will not have great photos of Elliot though, because we just powered through it.
That was a multiple person job.
Yeah.
We had 0 hands.
So another favorite fall time activity that I'm going to give you side eye for is campfires, because we have some more ingredients in our cupboard because you've told me we were going to have a fire for like a month and a half. And then you ate all the candy bars and bought more candy bars to replace all the candy bars that you ate because we have not had a fire yet. Stink eye.
Why is that my fault?
Because you were the one that was insistent we were going to have a campfire.
I've offered to have a campfire because summer is the best time to do it. Oh, actually, fall's the best time to do it.
Fall's the best time to do it because I don't get eaten by all the mosquitoes. I go outside in the summertime and I come inside. I'll be outside for 5 minutes and I'll have 3 new mosquito bites. They love me.
Well, that's because we don't take care of our yard.
No, it's because I'm so sweet.
Ah, it's because you're so sweet.
Aw, thank you, honey. That wasn't prompted at all.
Yeah, so campfires. We haven't done this with the kids, but I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably try to touch the fire.
They'll learn pretty quick, though.
Oh yeah, they'll learn very quick, and we'll try to stop them from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be interesting. That's something that I did growing up. Campfires. Kind of something related to that is camping.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't gone camping, but I know that the great parks, specifically, I think it's Winton Woods.
Like all of them have campgrounds. It's just a matter if you don't know where they are.
Which one does the Halloween themed?
Winton Woods for sure has a Halloween themed camp out weekend that fills up real fast.
Yeah, so not when they're, in diapers and just starting to get potty trained, but when they're older, I do want to take them, to the Halloween themed camping trip. Because I've never been to a Halloween themed camping trip at Winton Woods, but I have been camping there. And I think we'll just do tent camping, and get them sleeping bags and stuff.
We don't have any tents in the basement for that.
Yeah, you keep buying tents. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I only have 3 tents. I have my original 2-person tent that does not hold 2 people if you are in the tent. I have a 4-person tent that I have used with your sister for Girl Scout events. And I have an 8-person tent that I have used for Girl Scout events. All of the tents have been used at least once. Just only this itty bitty one has been used by you.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's something that I'm interested in, but we haven't done yet. And then the final thing that is very cliche when it comes to fall is, of course, raking the leaves because, as Americans say, leaf fall down.
As opposed to, it's autumn, named after autonomous or whatever. No, it's fall because leaf fall down.
And then when the leaves...
And then you can say, it's fall, y'all.
Yeah, obviously.
It's autumn, totum. I don't even know what you would say.
Nothing rhymes with autumn. I mean...
Bottom, but that doesn't work for anything.
Oh, that was a replay of a few plays ago.
Focus.
I'm focusing. So, what was I saying? So, jumping in the leaves is where I was going with that. So, leaf fall down, which means we have to rake the leaves.
But we don't really have any trees in our yard that give us leaves. But our neighbors do.
Not anymore. So we used to have leaves, and I would not rake them. I would mulch them because...
It's better for everybody that way. You really shouldn't rake your leaves because it's nature's bed. It's nature's, duvet for wintertime.
Sure. But yeah, we get the leaves from our neighbor, which has a huge, I think it's an oak tree. Or maybe
probably.
It's a huge tree.
It's ginormous.
Over 100 feet, at least.
I'd say over 30 feet, maybe 40 feet. I wouldn't go with 100 feet. 100 feet's really, really big.
It's my truth, though.
Okay. It's 200 feet tall.
Yes. It's this big, and it got away. Yeah, so I'm super allergic to leaves, so this is a bad idea for me. But
I'm super allergic to nature.
Yes.
But I enjoy going out in nature. I didn't even include hiking on here. I really hope to go hiking in 2 weekends. If we don't go hiking in 2 weekends, I don't know what's going to happen. Because I need to go hiking. Real bad.
Yeah. But as far as leaves go, I remember doing that as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
Though it is very dangerous to do that when you have dogs. Your yard has to be kept very clean.
Yes. Because of the dog poop. But I never had to worry about that. Because our dog went in the backyard.
And you always played in the front.
Yes. I think that's all that's on the list. Is there anything else?
I just added in hiking. Sleeping. I would like to sleep. So I think that's it. We went on lots of tangents. You have over an hour of recorded stuff. My back would like to lay down now.
Agreed. All right, Caroline. I have a dad joke of the week.
Okay, Joe.
I actually have 2 dad jokes of the week.
Wow. Good luck.
I am overachieving today.
Somebody just bumped the Gatorade check.
Oh, it's a check?
I think so. I don't know. We'll see if they pop back up again.
No, they won't.
Nope.
The Bengals, it's the third quarter.
Is this your dad joke?
No. It is the third quarter, and the Bengals are winning 14-12 against the Miami Dolphins. What? This is my dad joke, though. I have 2 dad jokes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's get ready. So speaking of fall and autumn, I have 2 related jokes. So why does Humpty Dumpty love autumn so much?
I don't know. Why?
Because he had a great fall.
Oh, my goodness. Maybe that's why the King's horses and King's men couldn't put him back together again. Because he hadn't fallen, his heart was broken because fall was over.
Maybe
that's what it was.
I mean, when you fall in the winter, bad things happen.
Yeah.
I do have another one. And it is also related. What is an octopus's favorite party festival?
I don't know. What?
An Oktoberfest.
Oh, my goodness. Probably do really good at the Stein holding competition.
Oh, for sure. He would win 8 times over. Well, that does it for this week's show. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find us at Craft Parenting Podcast on all of those platforms. You can also get a hold of us via email, which is craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com.
If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. Make sure to share the show. It's what helps our show grow. If you'd like to send us stuff such as fan mail, craft supplies, or sanity, I definitely need more craft supplies because I am starting to use up craft supplies in the basement, and there might be a hole in the very full closet, and I don't know what I would do. We have a P.O. box.
You would survive from the non-existent avalanche that happens.
Hey, if there was an apocalypse and there were no more craft stores, our kids would still be able to do crafts.
Careful what you wish for with the apocalypse.
I could make you clothes with all the yarn.
All this information is available on our website, which is www.craftparentingpodcast.com.
That's where we post the show notes, plus blog posts about some of the stuff that doesn't make it into the podcast. And some of those blog posts don't make it onto the blog because they're still on the computer because I have to finish writing them. I'm going to work on that.
But I did just publish a blog post about our recent trip to Swine City Brewing.
Yep, and I want to do one about our trip to Kings Island. Eventually. Maybe.
Yeah.
A compare and contrast between last year and this year.
Don't forget that if you would like to support the show, we have a Buy Me a Coffee account.
Support our show on a one-time or monthly or yearly basis.
Yes. So make sure you can find the link to that and all that information in the show notes. And if you'd like to follow me personally, I am on Instagram at craftparentingjo.
And I am at Caroline Creates Crafts on Instagram and Caroline's Creative Crafts on Facebook.
And with that, I'm Joe.
And I'm Caroline.
See you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Bye.
Oh, they made a big defensive play.
Sports ball. I've been looking everywhere for pumpkin spice seltzer, and I can't find it, and it's starting to make me very mad because I did not have pumpkin spice seltzer for the last 3 years because I was busy making people, and you won't drink it, and none of our friends drink seltzer or like pumpkin spice.
What?
Like either they don't like seltzer or they don't like pumpkin spice. So if I bought a 12-pack, it would sit around until I could drink it. It wasn't like I could just save 1 or 2 cans. And now I can't find pumpkin spice hard seltzer anywhere. And it makes me very annoyed.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It was a thing. I don't even know if it's still a thing. I even put a Facebook message out there. Like, hey, if you see this, let me know because I would like it. Are we watching this on Amazon?
Yes.
Oh.
That's a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Thursday Night Football is now streaming on Amazon Prime.